What if I told you that everything you think you know about Abraham Lincoln's assassination is only part of the story? What if there were hidden motives and forces at play far more sinister than just one man with a gun? Stick around because today, we're diving deep into the shocking truth behind the real reasons Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. But before we unravel this untold story, take a quick moment to hit that like button and subscribe with notifications on, so you don't miss future videos uncovering the secrets they don't teach you in history class. Got your seatbelt on? Let's jump right in. We all know the basic story. April 14, 1865, Ford's Theater. John Wilkes Booth, a well-known actor, sneaks up behind President Abraham Lincoln during a play and shoots him in the back of the head. Lincoln dies the next morning, and Booth is quickly identified as the assassin. End of story, right? But what if this narrative was just the surface? What if Booth wasn't acting alone? Or worse, what if the forces behind Lincoln's death had motives that were hidden from the public for decades? This isn't just a conspiracy theory. There's a paper trail, unexplained connections, and strange coincidences that make us question everything we thought we knew. And by the end of this video, you might too. Let's dig into the background. Booth wasn't some random madman. He was deeply connected to a network of Southern sympathizers, and it turns out potentially even more dangerous groups. One question to consider: was Booth simply a pawn in a larger game? What most people don't realize is that the Civil War wasn't just a battle of North versus South. There were international interests at play. European powers, particularly Britain and France, had their eyes on the United States during this time, and some historians suggest that certain European elites had a vested interest in seeing Lincoln gone. Lincoln had plans that threatened powerful economic systems, particularly in the banking sector. His vision of a reunited America, backed by a nationalized currency that avoided European banks, didn't sit well with everyone. Could his radical policies, especially his moves towards economic independence, have painted a target on his back? Chapter 3. Booth's connections and the question of foreign influence. Now here's where things get even stranger. John Wilkes Booth had several connections that were never fully explored by investigators at the time. For example, his ties to secret societies like the Knights of the Golden Circle, an organization that sought to expand slavery across North America and beyond. And guess who was rumored to be supporting these groups? Foreign governments and financiers who had a stake in maintaining the global economic status quo, a status quo Lincoln was threatening with his policies. Is it really that far-fetched to believe that powerful international forces might have wanted Lincoln out of the picture? Especially when we consider that Lincoln had already survived multiple assassination attempts before Booth succeeded. Could this have been the final coordinated strike? And what about Booth's escape after the assassination? Many believe his death was a cover-up. Some even claim that Booth escaped justice, living out his life in exile under a new identity. Why would anyone go to such lengths to protect him? Unless, of course, he had powerful friends ensuring he wasn't captured alive. Chapter 4. The Forgotten Motive. Lincoln's Economic Reforms. One theory that historians often gloss over is Lincoln's economic reforms. Most people don't realize how radical his policies were at the time. In the midst of the Civil War, Lincoln issued greenbacks, a form of paper currency not backed by gold or silver, but by the credit of the United States government. This move challenged the power of international bankers, who were making huge profits from lending to governments at high interest rates. By creating a currency that didn't rely on these financiers, Lincoln was undercutting a system that had enriched Europe's wealthiest elites for centuries. Could this have been a motive for foreign bankers to support an assassination plot? If Lincoln had succeeded in his vision, the financial power structure of the Western world might have shifted drastically. We know that power and money often go hand in hand, and Lincoln was threatening both. Is it possible that these reforms sealed his fate? Chapter 5. What We'll Never Know. The Cover-ups and Loose Ends. After Lincoln's death, many loose ends were left dangling. Key witnesses vanished, vital documents disappeared, and Booth's conspirators were quickly hanged without extensive investigation. Some historians argue that this rush to judgment was a deliberate effort to prevent the real story from coming out. Even more interesting is the role of Secretary of War Edwin Stanton. Stanton took over the investigation immediately after Lincoln's death and led the manhunt for Booth. But some believe Stanton's rapid control of the situation and his later censorship of certain key information point to a deeper involvement. Was Stanton trying to hide his own role in a larger conspiracy? Or was he covering for others, ensuring the true masterminds behind the assassination were never revealed? Conclusion. As we've seen, the story of Abraham Lincoln's assassination is far more complex than the history books tell us. From foreign interference to hidden financial motives, there are so many unanswered questions surrounding that fateful night in 1865. It's no longer just a simple case of one man's anger. It involves international powers, secret societies, and untold motives. So what do you think? Could Lincoln have been taken down by a larger conspiracy involving global elites? Or was it truly the work of a misguided actor? Could there be even more shocking truths we've yet to uncover? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Before you go, if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of history's most significant events, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss another video. And if you're really interested in exploring more mysteries of history, make sure you check out our other content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.